Hello fellow collectors, and welcome to Caliban Toys. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video, and today we are reviewing the Marvel Legends Caliban Build-A-Figure wave. Now this is a exclusively X-Men comic-based wave, which is fantastic. I have to say this is probably my favourite complete X-Men wave to date. With every Marvel Legends wave I've ever bought, there's always been at least one figure that I've chucked or sold or just removed out of the collection because it was a figure I was only getting to complete the Build-A-Figure or something. But overall, with everything that comes with this complete wave, I am so happy with all the extras. I'm happy with every character. I'm not too happy with the Skullbuster head, but he comes with a alternate head that we'll look at shortly. But I'm just, really happy with this wave. It's fantastic. The standouts for me are definitely the Blink, the Beast, the Jubilee, and the Gambit. But I'm really stoked about the Forge as well. Caliban's good, and the Weapon X holds a lot of excitement for me for possible Battle Damage Wolverine customization in the near future. So let's just jump into it, guys. So having a look at Blink here, her name is Clarice Ferguson, if I'm not mistaken. She is featured in the Exiles comics, and also she is actually from the Age of Apocalypse comics. I know her primarily from Exiles myself because I was a big reader of that back in the day. That is one of the few comic book series that I actually have a good chunk of the collected graphic novels. And yeah, just really fantastic. I'm kind of hoping maybe we can get some more of the classic Exiles, like Mimic, to go along with her in the future. But I've got a Holocaust, I've got Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, and Sabretooth that she can be displayed with, so that'll be really cool. And yeah, just a really beautiful figure. I'm really happy with this. It's just very basic, but it's just hits that spot, just nails it. And I have to say, this is definitely one of my favourite from the line. Okay, so for accessories, she comes with her like little Blink crystals that she uses to throw at people or uses to teleport herself. And then she's got this teleportation ring, which is just this nice like fluoro sort of pink. It looks kind of cool. Not bad. Good little effect for her to be jumping out of. You could probably play around with that. Maybe stick it to a wall or something so you could have her jumping out of it. Yeah, I reckon you could get quite creative with that. It's got a bit of a hole there, so you could probably stick it to the wall. I don't know, I really am looking forward to having a play with that, with some figure photography in the future with this figure. But yeah, definitely a awesome figure. Okay, now on to Skullbuster. Now he looks really cool. Now I'll be honest guys, I'm not actually familiar with Skullbuster or where he's from, so I'm not going to use that head. It's a pretty cool head, but I am going to use this Reaver's head, because I do know the Reavers, and I do know this guy was one of Lady Deathstrike's henchmen. I know he appeared in a couple episodes of the X-Men, the animated series from the 90s. So he will definitely be going on the shelf with Lady Deathstrike. So overall, Skullbuster looks pretty cool. He comes with the extra head. He's got a little holster here. He's got his gun. Not really too much to speak of. I do really love this extra head that they packed in with this Reavers guy. I can't remember what his name is. Is it Reese or something like that? I can't. Sorry, pardon my ignorance, guys. I don't remember this guy from the comics. I think I only ever read like one or two comics that this guy was actually featured in. But I do remember him from the animated series. But yeah, solid looking figure. Could be really good for some custom work for some people. Just a lot of different things going on there with the body. But yeah, overall, pretty cool looking figure. Alright, now on to Forge. Now, Forge has two guns. He's got his little pistol here, which fits neatly and snug in his little holster there. He's got his little machine gun there, which looks pretty cool. Artificial leg, half of his artificial leg. He's got his little cowboy boot things. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. Not a bad figure. A really welcome addition. I just am in the middle of reading Mutant Genesis, so that's really cool because I don't ever remember reading any comics where Forge was actually on any X-Men team, so to actually have now read Mutant Genesis all the way through and to see he's part of the team, I'm really stoked to get him on the shelf with my Cyclops, my Rogue, my Jubilee, my Wolverines, Gambit and all that, and Professor X. I think they're all going to look really, really awesome together. So let's have a look at the Weapon X. Now, a pretty solid looking figure. He comes with an interchangeable head as well, that I'll show you guys in just a second. But this one, I think, holds a lot of promise in the future for a Battle Damage Wolverine custom. Because I've always wanted a Battle Damage Wolverine that's got maybe, you know, ripped from about there, his pants, all the way to about here. And maybe with a bit of a torn shirt there, or maybe without altogether. So that's really good. I might do that in the future. Or I may keep this like that, or I might get a second one. We'll see how we go. But as it stands, that's a really cool looking figure. Very, very reminiscent of the Weapon X comic. The helmet does look a little bit different, but it still looks good. It still looks pretty accurate. I just think it's just slightly off in the shape on the front. I could be mistaken though. I've got to have a look at the original comic. And as for accessories, Weapon X just comes with this Wildman head. Not the greatest looking head, it's kind of cool. I am actually really hoping that this fits on one of my other Wolverines, so I can have an unmasked Wolverine. I've got the brown suit and the yellow suit, so I'm hoping this is going to fit on one of those. So yeah, I will update you guys in the future to let you know if that worked out. On to Gambit. Now, Gambit looks just really, really good. They've done a great job here. The sculpt is really spot on. The paint is beautiful. Like, that purple is just phenomenal. I've heard a few people complaining about the head sculpt. They don't like the hair. I personally don't mind the hair. I think it looks cool. But I could see why you'd want maybe something a little bit more neutral that didn't look like he was blowing in the wind. I love this card effect that they've given him along with his stick. That's just great. And as you can see, it just looks fantastic, like he's charging it. And then he's also got this cool card throwing effect, which I really like. I'm not too sure which one I'm going to use to display him with, but I do think that is really, really cool. On to the one I think everyone is probably the most excited for is this new Beast. And oh my god, this is something else, guys. Wow, just wow. A fantastic figure. I am so in love with this Beast. I've had a little bit of a play around with him when I took him out of the box, but my god, the paint, the articulation, the poses you are going to be able to get this guy into is just insane. Just insane. So he looks great. I can't wait to get him on the shelf with Professor X and Wolverine and the rest of the X-Men. And finally fill out that 90s X-Men animated series team. Because that's really what I've been striving for since I started collecting X-Men Marvel Legends figures back in the day. And now we're finally there, guys. We've pretty much got all of them. I've got Psylocke on the way. I've got a Magic on the way. And I think all I'm really going to need now is the new Nightcrawler and the new Colossus, and I'm pretty well set. So yeah, that's really good, guys. I'm super, super impressed with this. Super impressed with this whole wave. It's just amazing. It really is. So yeah, really, really awesome figure. And I have to say, Beast might be my favorite from the line altogether. Just on quality. He's amazing. And for accessories, Beast just comes with a couple extra hands, and this is really good because he's got this flat, splayed out palm, so you can get him into some one-handed, standing on one hand, which is really, really cool. But yeah, so with that flat hand, you're going to be able to get him into some really, really good poses, some really good jumping poses. I'm thinking the pose I'm going to go with when I display him is going to be sort of like flat hand down, sort of jumping out. I don't know, I'll play around with it a bit. They're still a bit stiff because they're so new, but yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to getting my classic X-Men my classic X-Men animated team together. Okay, so now we're having a look at the Jubilee, and the Jubilee, I would have to say, is probably the most anticipated, or second most anticipated in this wave for me and many others, just because it's a good classic 90s Jubilee that we've never had. The only other Jubilee we've had was a Build-A-Figure, and it kind of sucked, and it was really hard to get and expensive, and now we've got one that everyone can have, and it's not going to be painful for people to get hold of, and that's just great. I'm really happy about that. So overall, she looks really good. The fluoro colors they've used for the jacket and the top just really, really pop, and you guys know I love colorful figures, and this just really does it for me. I love how colorful that is, and it's just really going to stand out on the shelf with the other X-Men. For accessories, she just comes with an alternate head that has the bubblegum effect. Now, these glasses on this one you can take off, but she does come with two of those, funny enough. One's a lot tighter and one's a lot... one's not nearly as tight. So, I don't know what that is for, if that one's meant for her face. Oh, now I've dropped it on the floor, great. And if that one's meant to maybe go over her head, but it doesn't, like onto her hair, but it doesn't really work. So I don't know if they've just added two different ones for a I really don't know why they've added two different visors. I don't know if it's like maybe adding a backup, but the fact that they're different sizes kind of throws me off a little bit. Okay, now that I've just had a closer look, I've realised I'm stupid, and they're not actually a different size. They are actually both the same size. One was just a bit shrunk down because it was sitting behind the other one in the packet. So yeah, that's really cool. So you've got the visor affixed to her face on this one, and then she comes with that one without a visor, and you can remove the visor. And they gave us a backup one, so that's really cool. And Hasbro really thinking ahead there, because I'm sure people are going to lose these little visors, like I just dropped one just then, like you guys saw. So overall, Jubilee, fantastic figure, and really, really welcome addition to my X-Men team. Alright, now on to the last figure, and that is our Build-A-Figure, the Caliban Build-A-Figure. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really impressed with this guy. I was really looking forward to him, but once I actually got the Build-A-Figure in my hands and started putting him together, he's a little hollow. Feels a little bit cheap and tacky, if I'm being completely honest. I like the figure, I like the presentation, I think he looks cool. I don't remember Caliban in this form from the comics. I do remember the one episode he was in this form, when Jubilee and Beast encounter him out in the jungle, and he's with Fabian Cortez as one of Apocalypse's horsemen, or one of Cortez's hounds or something. I'm not sure what his exact role is, but he looks really cool. I'm glad to have a Horseman of Apocalypse. That's really cool. He'll look really good with Archangel and Holocaust. And the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure that I have. The old classic Apocalypse Build-A-Figure I have that's just massive. So yeah, he's pretty cool, but I do feel he's just a little bit cheap. He feels a little bit cheap, so if you're getting this wave just and thinking about completing it solely for this, do keep that in mind. He looks kind of cool, but yeah, he does feel a bit cheap. But I'll be honest, guys, it's been a while since I've built a complete Build-A-Figure, so I don't know. Maybe that's normal now. I didn't get the Kingpin, so I don't know how hefty that was. I'm just thinking back to older ones, and this one just doesn't feel quite as thick and sturdy. But overall, he looks pretty cool. I like the head, the claws look pretty cool. And then before we go, guys, I didn't actually have a Storm, so I picked up this Storm on eBay, and she actually came just a day before the rest of them. So now I've got a Storm to add to the collection, so that's really cool. Would be nice if she was in the white costume, but that will do for now. And yeah, I can live with that. So overall, guys, a really solid wave of figures. I'm really happy with all of my purchases here, including the Storm. It's going to be really good to get all these on shelf the next time I'm over at my mum's place and have access to my Marvel Legends collection, which is where I keep it. But yeah, overall, guys, a really awesome collection of figures. Cannot recommend picking these up enough. Big thank you to toysandbeyond.com.au for the delivery of the Caliban Build-A-Figure wave. Couldn't be happier, and if you're a local Australian collector, jump on to toysandbeyond.com.au. They've got some really good stuff, and just some really good prices, and just really upstanding fella over there running it. So can't recommend them enough, and I will definitely be buying a lot of stuff from them in the future. Alright, fellow collectors, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like down below, and if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. It all really helps the channel out. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook at Gallet Gun Toys. Thank you as always for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.